That's good for you. I'm proud of you. Coming up on the show today, is David Ortiz getting a free pass? Big Papi sounds off. We discussed that. Plus, again, he mentions Chris Bosh. If he leaves Miami, where does that leave LeBron? Will it hurt or help him during free agency? But up first, again, let's discuss Bosh seriously considering the Rockets' maximum contract of 4 years, $88 million. Since opting out of his contract, it's being reported that Bosh is waiting for LeBron to make a decision before he does. And according to our Chris Broussard, a conversation with LeBron led Bosh to consider other offers as well as early negotiations. So, what should Bosh do?
Bosh should get up and leave for Houston. Whoa. It's really that simple. The fact of the matter is that nobody's going to sit here and say that LeBron, quote-unquote, wants Bosh to leave, or the Miami Heat want Bosh to leave, or whatever the case may be. The question is, do you want to pay him 4 years and $96 million or $88 million? Do you want to give him that kind of money? Chances are the Miami Heat do not. When you look at the way their offense is run and the kind of things that they do and what they're looking and hopeful of doing, Bosh fits into their plans if indeed he's willing to capitulate to some of the things that they would prefer. And in the end, what it comes down to is that in Miami's system, I'm not talking about his talent, I think that Bosh is a very, very good player. I do not believe he's a superstar, but I do believe he's a very good player. But in the end, is he worth $88 million over the next 4 years after getting $110 million from the Miami Heat? I'm sorry, the answer would be no, in my opinion. I don't believe that. And so when you look at the fact that, again, it's something that's been touched on by other people, but certainly hasn't been put to the forefront the way that I've put it out there. But I'm going to put it out there because I firmly believe, based on what I reported months ago, in a perfect world, LeBron James and Carmelo Anthony would love to play with one another. The preference has always been to play with Carmelo Anthony before you play with Chris Bosh. There is not going to be a big four that's going to be assembled in Miami. That was always a pipe dream. But as I reported months ago, it's always the possibility of a reincarnation of another version of a big three or a big two with a dissipated Dwayne Wade based on his health. So in the end, because you know Dwayne Wade ain't going anywhere,
right,
and they don't, and nobody in the world with sense would want LeBron James to go anywhere. Well, who does that leave as the odd man out? Chris Bosh. That's in Miami. But in Houston, even though he would still be a third option, he's almost like a 2 and a 2A option, because even though Dwight Howard is your secondary option, he's not the guy that's going to get 20 to 25 shots a game for you. That's not why Dwight Howard is a star in this league. Dwight Howard is a star in this league because of his defensive prowess, the ability to block shots, change shots, patrol the paint, rebound, while still giving you 20 a night. That's what Dwight Howard's M.O. is. Chris Bosh, on the other hand, can spread the floor. He's your stretch four. He's going to hit perimeter shots. He's going to make it very difficult to double down on the Dwight Howard, which is going to free him up, and it's going to help Harden as well. To me, it's easy. If you're Chris Bosh and you are thinking about your future, the only reason you're staying in Miami is because that's where the wife and you are comfortable. From a basketball sense, there is no reason on earth for him to stay in Miami.
So yesterday, when you suggested that Chris Bosh was the key domino here, not the biggest domino, but the key first domino, then I was reading the tea leaves, again, from a distance, suggesting that, well, wait a second, maybe Pat Riley is subtly encouraging Chris Bosh to go ahead and take the big deal in Houston. Maybe LeBron is subtly encouraging Chris Bosh to go ahead and take the money and run to Houston, because maybe the big picture master plan on the part of both Pat Riley and LeBron James from the start was to get Carmelo to effectively replace Chris Bosh in the equation under the cap, right? Okay, well, we leaped to that conclusion yesterday, and now you feel a little more comfortable in going there, right?
No, I don't think I feel more comfortable. I've been comfortable with this for months. My position has always been that the objective was to somehow, some way get Melo to South Beach. I said in order for that to happen, one of the big three would have to leave. That's what I said.
All right, fine. So if I am Chris Bosh right now, and I have turned 30 years of age, and I know that a good team that's actually a better fit for me, as you say, than my current team in Miami. A team that makes me play center, makes me want to be a rebounder and a shot blocker that I'm really not comfortable being. If that good team in Houston is offering me far more money than the Miami Heat, which is lowballing me right now, to go back to my home state, not my hometown, but my home state, another state, the state of Texas, that also has no state income tax, why would I not take that money and run to Houston? Because we're talking about seriously more money. If, in fact, Miami's in that $14 million a year range, if you can go to $22 million a year for 4 years, wow, if I start doing the math across 4 years' time, that's 7 times 4. That's $28 million more dollars. Again, we sneeze at that money now because we all get numb to it, but that's a whole lot of money. And I'm going to bring this up again. And I've talked to Chris a little bit about this when he came to Bristol 2-3 years ago to talk, sit right here at the debate desk. But early on in Miami, certainly, he was perceived as more of the odd man out, the third wheel. And I think it was hard on Chris, especially the first year or two, to be the guy who wasn't that close to LeBron or Dwayne Wade, who were like blood brothers, right? And am I right that LeBron and Dwayne Wade have done thousands of press conferences together, post-games together? Did Chris sit next to those two? No. Okay. So don't you think it made him slightly uncomfortable? Not that they are not, do not invite him or all that. You know, they get along just fine. But Chris was always the third wheel in Miami. So deep down, psychologically, he has to say to himself right now, am I chasing Michael Jordan? Am I chasing 6 rings here? No. He won 2 rings because he was with those 2 guys, but he contributed mightily to those 2 rings. So if this team is willing to, and the GMs I know and have talked to, they think Houston's way overpaying Chris Bosh at age 30 for the next 4 years, just as you suggest Miami doesn't want to pay him that money. Houston's a little desperate right now because they want to make a splash. They think they're out of the Carmelo sweepstakes, right?
Well, Bosh is not much of a splash. He's a talented player, but he's not much of a splash. What he is a perfect fit for Houston.
Is he $22 million worth of fit?
Well, you know what? It depends on how much money can be generated in terms of going deep into the playoffs and what have you. I can't say he's not worth it from a talent perspective. Do I think he's worth $22 million? I only think about 4 or 5 players in the league are worth that amount of money. Because you know what my criteria is. It's not just skill. It's whether it's box office appeal. And I don't believe that that's Chris Bosh. I don't believe that Chris Bosh. I think he's talented. He can play. But I don't think he's box office. But in the end, he is a perfect fit for Houston and what it tries to do. Now, our very own Mike Wallace in Miami covering the Heat, he reported how Chris Bosh once told him he's done with the Lone Star State, doesn't want to be in Texas, got relatives, got crazy relatives, they all of this other stuff you joke about. But, you know, as an aside, keep in mind that, you know, Derrick Rose is an exception from the perspective of growing up in Chicago, wanting to be home, wanting to play. Most dudes that grow up in a particular place, that have a lot of friends in a particular locale, don't want to play there.
Now don't lump Houston in with Dallas, Texas.
No, I only did that because Mike Wallace quoted Chris Bosh as saying the Lone Star State.
I took that quote to mean Dallas, Texas, not Houston, Texas. It's a, what is it, a good,
you look at it,
7-hour drive, 8-hour drive.
You look at it that way. I look at it as Chris Bosh is a highly intelligent man, and he did say the Lone Star State by accident. You understand? He knows exactly what he means.
I still think he was referring to Dallas.
That's all I'm saying.
That's my reading. But the great stat here, when you talk about fit, is Houston was the worst mid-range jump shooting team by far in the NBA.
No question.
Chris Bosh was the second best powered forward / center.
From field goal.
The field goal percentage.
Not 3.
From mid-range.
That's right.
48.4.
That's right.
Well, what a beautiful fit that is. Well, what is Chris Bosh? What hangs over his head in Miami? I got to be the 5 tonight again. It's one of the worst, most of the year, it's the worst rebounding team in the NBA.
If Houston wants to make a case for Chris Bosh to be there, all they need to do is go back to the film, get tapes of Miami playing Memphis, and tell Chris Bosh, this is what you had to deal with when you were dealing with Zebo and all of these boys. You didn't want any parts of that because he got banged around pretty well. He's a slender and fit. He loves it. He's a jump shooter. That's what he is.
He's a forward, not a center.
And you don't want, Dwight Howard is there to help you on that level.
I'd say.
You don't want that part. He doesn't want any part of it.
No, I completely agree. So I'm taking the money and running.
But McRoberts, Raleigh adding him, that's going to be a big help. That's somebody that LeBron didn't mind having.
He's pretty good.
He's pretty good. He's an exceptional passer.
He is.
And he knocked LeBron upside his head during their playoff series against Charlotte. Now, obviously, they paid for it because they got swept. But he showed a lot by his unwillingness to back down, willing to be tough.
I would agree.
And that goes a long way with stars in this league.
Yesterday, you said that LeBron should take the league minimum. Today, for Bosh, in this situation, take the money and run.
Definitely.
Well, we all know that.
Wait. Who did a McDonald's commercial in Miami yesterday?
LeBron did.
I think LeBron James did. Wonder how much he got for that commercial.
Well, listen.
Who knows?
Listen.
Did he get $8-10 million for that?
I can assure you he got a pretty penny.
I think he got a pretty penny.
But I would say to you that you still should be drug tested for saying that he should take the
Why?
To take the minimum.
No, I swear, I don't know why you say that.
That's right. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy.
It's like you tell me that Tiger Woods wants to do commercials instead of try to play major championships. What are you trying to do?
Let me say this to you.
You trying to make money or win rings?
When the Clippers were just purchased for $2 billion, come to me when owners and teams should take pay cuts, not players. I don't want to hear it. That is the point.
The point is
rings. The point.
Okay, so you're saying LeBron James at this point, is he almost 30 years of age, is more interested in making the max than winning a championship? That's crazy. You should be drug tested.
On ESPN.com talking about how grossly underpaid LeBron James is.
What does Tim Duncan make? What does Tim Duncan make?
That's his problem.
He makes $10 million a year.
Look, Tim Duncan can live off the land. The man's from St. Croix. Do you see?
I see.
So he has no problem.
So he's okay.
Hey, wait a minute.
He's okay with $10 million.
I'm an island boy, my son. You know what I'm talking about. Let me tell you something right now. When you're from the island, you understand? So you perfectly laid back, you relax. You don't need your money, but so much. You're sitting there, you eat coconuts and fruit and all of that. Mangoes are my favorite.
Okay, let me reiterate my position here.
My point is, don't come to me about some player.
Your point needs to be drug tested.
Listen, that's right.
Seriously.
No player.
Your point.
A player needs to be taking pay cuts, but executives and owners and everybody else don't. This player can snap his fingers and make $10 million making one commercial. That is not the point. You collectively bargained. You did everything as a league. Let me tell you something. You did everything as a league in your eyes to prohibit a big three being assembled again because of the cap situation. You're going to come to players and talk about how they should get pay cuts. Players should get as much money as they can get because their window to make money is short.
Then LeBron James, don't come crying to me about I don't have the supporting cast.
He's saying you
figure it out.
He's saying you figure it out.
More help.
He's saying you figure it out. Figure it out. Do your job. They don't play. The executives don't play. The coaches don't play. The owners don't play. Your job is to figure it out. Figure it out.
If I'm LeBron James,
the players gotta
pay me the minimum.
Listen, Kobe was absolutely right. Y'all can say whatever y'all want. Y'all can excoriate Kobe to the end of time. Kobe sat there and talked about y'all collectively bargained to do this, and I'm supposed to take a pay cut. I don't see the Lakers. Did the Lakers take a pay cut when they signed a $3 billion cable deal? Wait a minute. Here's the point. Players have a right to try and make their money. You're talking to a capitalist, baby.
What are the odds?
You are entitled to try and make your money. I don't see you taking any pay cuts.
I don't play on a team with a salary cap. I don't need any help. I need no help. I don't need any of you. I'm fine by myself.
Please. You wouldn't take a pay cut for this guy?
Would I take to have him? Yes, I would.
I would. I'm so touched. I'm so touched.
There you go.
I'm so touched.
And you know what?
Wait a minute.
Before we leave Kobe Bryant behind, he's made, what is he making? $22 million this year, whatever it is.
23.
Yeah, he might just be sitting on his $23 million, watching next year's playoffs from his couch.
You know what? It was the Lakers' job. It was the Lakers' job to figure out a way to work around it. Because I got news for you, Skip. When I take
so they can just explode their cap and say, we'll figure this out.
my brother from another mother.
Yeah.
Let me be very, very clear, my man. I would take a pay cut for you, too.
You would
if
not.
I had to.
No, you would not.
If I had
finally told
the
lie on the show.
You would not.
I did not.
You're not
Hey,
talking
let me
about
tell you
your first line you ever told on the show.
It's not true. I would take a pay cut.
Stephen A. loves his money.
Hey, the difference between me and Skip is Skip would be like, okay, if that's what I have to do. Me, I would exhaust every option imaginable.
Yeah.
And then I would take the pay cut. Only when I had to, but I would do it.
We got to move on.
I would
the
do
point
it for
of the
you.
conversation was,
I would do it for you,
talking about
Skip.
Habershash, our guy, he says that a 66% discount over his career.
66% discount over LeBron James' career. He's been paid. Are you kidding me?
Remember what Michael Jordan took to play for Jerry Reinsdorf?
And did he like it? Did he like it? When he finally
got 6 rings out of it.
The only thing Michael did was this. He signed a contract. He honored his contract. That's what he did. But the second he got free, what did he make a year? 30. And then 33. Don't give me that.
Won 6 rings, taking less money.
He deserved every penny.
All right,
He
so
deserved every